Woman realizes the man in front of her is not her husband, because her husband never goes to bed early, and he never snores when he sleeps. He's usually cold, but today he shows unusual care. Watching her husband wash dishes for the first time, the woman's doubts grow stronger, and indeed that's the case. Her husband had been replaced by someone else. A few days ago, the man had a car accident on his way to work. He lost his life in the accident. The uncle he collided with only had minor injuries. Coincidentally, the uncle's name was the same as the man's. After death, souls are taken away. So when the soul collector came to the hospital, because of the same name, he mistakenly took the uncle's soul. It was only when he was submitting his task that he realized he took the wrong soul. But by the time the uncle's soul returned to the hospital, his own body had already been cremated. Seeing this, the collector felt guilty for his actions, and to make amends, he put the uncle's soul into the man's body. During the funeral process for the man, the mortician was fixing him up, and accidentally noticed the man's hand move slightly. This scared the mortician. He wanted to inform the family, but fainted on the spot before he could speak. At that moment, the man stretched and sat up. Everyone at the scene was stunned. This man was named Jishuan. He was the head of a well-known bank, extremely strict with his subordinates, and treated his wife like he treated his subordinates. Every word he spoke was a command. His wife Weijian was tired of this life, as she never felt cared for by her husband. The uncle with the same name as Jishuan ran a small restaurant. He looked fierce but was actually very humorous. Though not wealthy, his family was harmonious and happy. Such a humorous and dedicated soul suddenly transferred to the completely opposite Jishuan. Jishuan's resurrection caused a huge sensation in the country. TV stations reported this miracle. Doctors couldn't explain it. The awakened uncle was confused by these strange family members, until he saw himself in the mirror and guessed the reason. He borrowed a phone from his unfamiliar mother, and called his wife Mylan. The uncle tearfully told his wife what happened, but Mylan thought it was a prank, and angrily hung up. His friend Changhao also visited the hospital, mistaking Jishuan for temporarily amnesiac due to the accident. The uncle wanted to leave the hospital to find his family, but his unfamiliar wife asked him to wait until he was better. Out of desperation, the uncle performed a sexy dance on the spot, to prove he had recovered. His wife was dumbfounded after watching, unable to believe this was her untamed husband. Fortunately, with Changhao's help, the uncle successfully escaped the hospital, and made it back to the place he truly knew, just in time to run into Mylan throwing out the trash.